On this one, we're going to throw it over to you guys to cast this game. Enjoy, and we'll see you on the other side.
So right on into this one, ready to go. It's Elephant Aster. Aster looking to keep the momentum going. It's definitely a steam train that could keep rolling for them, especially you beat Elephant and you got to win over LGD.
If Elephant loses this, they're 0-2. You can't afford to be 0-2 at this stage of the tournament. So I think, actually, if you lose like 3 games, it's very difficult to get into those top 4 positions. They get into the major. Yeah. So really, like you cannot afford as Team Aster to go 0-2 here. I mean, Team Elephant. Sorry.
What do you think? The 4th ranked team squeaking by into the major. Like, what's their record? Do you think it's going to be?
It's going to be tough. So there's 8 teams, right?
Yeah. So it's 7 games, 4
I
and
feel
3.
Like 5-3.
It'd be 7 games.
4-3. Sorry, 4-3 would already be.
Ooh, going for FY already.
Yeah.
They've got the Fade Bolt. Do they have the damage to finish him off? Arctic Burn gets away, but there's the Aphotic Shield popping. They get first blood. They'll take out FY. They'll go for Yang, and they should have a second. It's White Album who grabs the kill, and that is 2 kills for Aster. Something we saw in the Southeast Asian region was the 5v5 pre-horn. Kind of get a little bit of that here between the 2 Chinese teams, and now you've got White Album who already gets a kill on that Shadow Fiend. He's happy.
I feel this is getting to a point where there's no excuse for this to happen anymore, you know? Like, I feel like every other game pre-horn first bloods are happening. Like, wait, it's way too frequent right now. Like, you know? It looked like Aster had a plan, and Elephant was kind of like, yeah, I think they're coming here, but they didn't really bring all the resources. There were only like 3 heroes there. Like, at this point, you really need to prepare properly, or you just don't show at all. Like, you gotta, you gotta know what you're doing during this initial nighttime now.
Yeah, is that something that's based off tendencies that you're seeing? Like, is that, do they know Elephant's usually gone that way in the past, that they're gonna match that? Is that something they've looked at by watching some of Elephant's games? I mean, I guess the same could be said for Aster if they do the same thing and kind of creep into the triangle like that.
I mean, I'm sure, like, as the tournament progresses further,
that's been tough for them so far. Red Panda again just getting harassed by XXS, who's on this Beastmaster. One of XXS's best heroes, but I feel like I say that about everything that XXS plays. He's one of the more stable offlaners in the region, but there are a handful that come from this region.
There are a handful, yeah. I'm honestly a little bit afraid for my prediction already, because like Dota games are not supposed to start like this, you know, like with first blood, double kill, 3 bounty runes to 1 team. It's supposed to be much more even, and this can really influence the laning phase a lot. So we'll have to see how that goes, because Dire needs to get out of the laning phase, just so they can start pressuring come mid game.
Well, it's definitely not as much of a detriment that the Ultra Kill Coddle minute 0 medallion was.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's certainly starting the game at a spot that you're going to have to try and recover in.
Yeah, Somno's doing really well for himself, despite the fact that he had less bounty runes and the SF had a kill.
Yeah.
So, good job to him. Of course, DP is a very strong laner. He's making it work.
Strong laner even up against the Shadow Fiend? Like, that's a fine matchup to be in?
Yeah, especially early levels. I think as the levels go higher, like level 4 or 5, it's going to be more difficult for the DP. But especially like level 1 to 3, you're quite happy in that lane. You just have way more damage than the SF.
Okay, so we'll see how the SF ends up doing. Already 10 and now 11-3 for White Album. Great name. I like the name switch from DD to White Album.
What is it? What is a White Album?
Well, I know the Beatles had a White Album. I think Weezer had a White Album. And then there's a White Album in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I'm not sure what the actual reference is. I'll probably ask somebody after this first game. Ooh, Crypt Swarm. A couple shots onto White Album. Not enough to get the kill there, but a solo kill for Somnus
would be huge.
Would be, yeah, massive. Lanham now taking some shots from FY as well as Yang. Slowed up for just a moment, and that'll keep Lanham alive. This is your classic Centaur Rubik lane.
Yeah. And something I'm very surprised about is that he did not skill Double Edge, because he would have died on Lanham there if he had that. It's a very common skill nowadays to get, because return level 1 doesn't really do much anymore. There's no active component to it. And especially with the Rubik, I'd much rather have the new combo. So he has to be careful here. Silenced up.
Chase on. Some damage being done back and forth. These right clicks really starting to chunk into FY.
Invis rune though.
Picks up the invis, and now the sentry down from Lanham, committing for it.
Yeah. Of course, has to lift up. And he basically wasted a sentry for that.
What a surprise.
Yeah, what a surprise.
Maybe ends up getting a ward, but now you know the sentry's down, so
Yeah,
if you're
you're
warding
putting a
there,
ward
that's your mistake.
Yeah, for sure. Looking at the lanes, Io is pretty much free farming up there. They're doing very well. Ogre, Io is a very strong lane. Ogre already has like 5 HP region number 1, and Io just amplifies that further. I think if both have a tango running and you tether to the Ogre, you have like something like 20-something HP region, which is ridiculous at this point in the game.
Yeah,
Very
just
strong
5
dual
minutes
lane.
in.
Yep.
I will say after losing 2 and then the 3 bounty runes, Elephant have really stabilized. A couple raises onto Red Panda, the stun as well as the ignite. Getting towards the 5-minute rune, and it's Red Panda who wins the race. Gives up his life, but they get 3 on Elephant. I believe they've got a 4th because of the bounty rune. Yeah, that's being left for the Death Prophet. So should eventually end up being 4. Not a bad trade when you're 5 positions trading to get all 4 bounty runes secured.
Yeah, but of course Winter Wyvern had a really early earn, so managed to earn up the SF to full again. It's not as impactful as it could have been, but 4 bounty runes, it's very huge, especially at minute 5.
It's good for the team.
Very good for the
It's a team sacrifice.
Yeah, I would like to see some rotations mid lane now, maybe even from the Rubik as well, just to use that exorcism, you know, kill the SF, get the tower low, and we'll probably be looking for the Abaddon to counter that gank.
If you can get in and take out that tier 1 tower mid quickly.
Rubik is coming in from behind now.
But they've got the Abaddon here still.
Yeah.
He's
One
now
lift
backed
could
off.
mean death.
Yeah.
Like DP did a lot of damage at this point. Okay, rune spawn bottom.
It's a question of whether or not they can set it up. Still, bounty rune left bottom. Going over towards top. You've got 3 heroes here going after Eurus. The creep's going to be here in time for him to tether. He actually tethers back towards Red Panda.
Yep, it's just such a good mechanic for like a carry to be able to do that.
Telekinesis into the hoof stomp. Now they're going for the kill onto Monet. They've brought Somnus over. Fade Bolt for the finish. Monet ends up dead. They get the kill onto the Troll, and now they might even lose XSS. Cold Embrace, Lanham, as well as the Winter Wyvern of Borax are here. XSS taking some damage. Eurus getting low with the rotation from White Album. It's not going to be 1, it's going to be 2. White Album gets both. Double killing, dominating for the SF early on, and a 5-1 lead for Aster. But this is Exorcism trying to take a tier 1 bottom.
Yeah, I mean, I think they will also try to take the tier 1 top on the Aster side. Actually, 2 heroes bottom to defend the tower. With the weapon in the trees here.
And Borax.
They're not that strong without Exor.
But these heroes already low on Aster. Telekinesis, and now the Cold Embrace. Going after Somnus, but the Fade Bolt hits both of them. Monet now needs to retreat. He is really low. Stampede pop by Yang. Crypt Swarm is there, and they get both. So this will now turn into a tier 1 tower bottom and a chunk of kills that have come the way of this Elephant side. Yes, you lose your top tier 1 yourselves, but slowing down Monet's game, killing him twice.
I feel both teams, they were very sloppy, I think is the right word. They saw 3 heroes top, and then the IO Ogre still decide to go on the Beastmaster. Turns around immediately, they find the kill, they trade the top tower. Same thing, they just TP 2 heroes bottom against 3 and try to defend the tower. Pretty, I don't know, like why they did that. It was really sloppy. Like, if they wanted, and then a Baron there, possibly a Beastmaster, you know, maybe even your SF. But you know, your SF TP top, he can't be bottom. It's like slight miscommunications going on for both teams, I feel like.
Yeah.
Going for the Helm of Dominator first, of course, the staple for a carry IO, just permanently being hasted. The best item probably on a core IO. Then gonna go into the Aghanims after.
Go up towards top, they spot Yang. Primal Roar, still a tough kill to get, but the raises, they'll cut through this Centaur. Without White Album, that kill probably doesn't happen, but of course they're probably not going for that kill without White Album nearby. Ignite as well as the stun onto XXS. FY chasing, maybe there to get a telekinesis in. They just cannot keep up.
I'm very intrigued to see what item build SF ends up going for. We see a lot of just like straight arcane blings, Others do like Yule's Blink still. Others go Blink BKB. There's many different item builds you can go for right now. And I'm very interested to see what he's gonna go for on his SF. Troll, I hope he does not go Battle Fury. Perfect. He's going Maelstrom. I love that. Big fan of Maelstrom Troll. I like it much more than Battle Fury. Just because it fits the concept of the hero more, you know? You have a lot of attack speed, you're gonna get a lot of these procs in. It's a farming item either way, and it lets you fight much earlier and much more efficiently as well.
Do you like this compared to other builds we see on the Troll? Battle Fury Ag sometimes?
And Battle Fury is, for me, it's a very greedy Troll item because the hero is meant, as I said, to fight early, I feel. Maelstrom just complements that perfectly. So you could even go Maelstrom Axe if you really want to. I don't think you really need a Battle Fury. It's just way too greedy, honestly. It's the same with Monkey. A lot of monkeys go Battle Fury, where I feel the new Maelstrom is actually a more efficient farming item. It's much cheaper, you get it much earlier. But we'll see, like as the meta develops, you know, it's still quite fresh. We'll see where teams will gravitate towards too.
Seems with the Maelstrom too, you can be a lot more active.
Yeah, for sure. One of the best fighting items earlier.
Yeah. So Yang's spotted by Monet for just a second.
Yeah. And it's not going super well for the Dire side, honestly. I thought they would be the ones pressuring now, but the early game was a bit rough. Took some unfavorable trades, and now they'll be, you know, they'll need some time to farm back up. Oh, Invis Rune.
Yeah, and there's the ulti from White Album. One more shot with the last second raise. White Album is on it. Unstoppable. 6-0-1, 100% kill participation. And he's got 6 of the 7 kills himself.
There was an Invis Rune, right? It was. Yeah. And he also has an Illusion Rune bottled. So rune control going heavily in favor of Aster, and it's paying off right there.
This
Another
is
death for the DP.
slowing down the Death Prophet, who's sitting second on the net worth. You're really waiting for Eurus to have some impact. His farm's kind of low, and Yang sitting with not a lot of farm himself either. I guess the only good thing is that FY's built up a bit of farm.
Eurus is going quarter staff. Not the Aghanims route.
Still Miscoil. Probably would have liked something just a bit better.
Yeah. Definitely wants the shield there. I don't know what this IO is going for. This is a quarter staff, if it's going to be an Orchid or what. But it's a really weird item. Usually we just rush at Aghanims because it's a huge power spike. But we'll see. Well, maybe he has like different plans. Better idea. Exorcism committed. Tower half health. Gonna be a little bit difficult to defend this Radiant. You probably just give this one up. Don't have SF ult. Keep on farming.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Courier comes in. There's the Oblivion Staff.
What could that be? Like it's either Orchid or, I mean, Acro Saber makes no sense.
Echo Saber Wisp.
Yeah.
New meta.
But even Orchid doesn't sound great. Yeah, like I'm not sure what he's going for. Maybe just a casual Oblivion Staff, you know, gives some good stats for the cost.
Could you think maybe he thinks he needs it just because he's behind by a bit? Get a casual Oblivion Staff, maybe build it into something later. Better than maybe building up on the Ags.
He's probably committing to the Orchid. I'm not sure why. We have a little engagement here, maybe.
Yang Stampede as the smoke breaks. Telekinesis comes through onto the Winter Wyvern. Steals Splinter Blast. They take out Borax. They were looking for XXS. He's got some distance. They don't have a Blink Dagger to close the gap. They did try to use that Stampede stun. Not there in time. XXS is out.
Yeah, he is committing for the Orchid. I'm not sure why, as I said. They don't have super many spells that are important to silence. Maybe you want to silence the Abaddon before you get the shield off or something. But again, I feel like the Aghanim is just so important for the hero. If you play him as a core role, it's like half his damage in teamfights.
Yeah, it's a lot of gold committed not towards an Ags, which seems like a key item.
Yeah, I will see how it works out. Maybe he's going to surprise us all with it. But I feel like more likely than not, he's just going to not do much.
Boots Necro 3, Hawk out. That's going to spot Eurus.
He's fast though. If he unsmokes this, he's out. Yep, he's out. This hero is way too fast. If you want to gank him, you gotta gank him with the Blink Dagger, or you gotta come in from the opposite direction, you know? Might steal the Ancient stack though.
That'd be a good stack to steal. They've got a couple heroes here, so should secure it. I know Eurus is looking in. He doesn't have a lot of mana to work with.
Yeah.
Still trying to build up that Orchid. Then Death Prophet close to where the SF is in farm. Mules. And there's the tower. So tier 1 mid, dead and gone. with BKB being built after this Yule's
Yule's
White
BKB.
Album.
Well, that is also another item build that I didn't expect. Because usually it would be like the Blink Yule's BKB. But he needs the BKB. Like if he has BKB, the Dire team only has Exorcism that goes through it, which is a big weakness of that lineup. If they ever manage to blow up the DP, I don't know how Dire fights, honestly, if DP ever dies. They do have good save for her. Later they aggro Stampede, and of course the IO. But yeah, if DP ever dies, gets bursted immediately, Dire needs to retreat ASAP.
Yeah. They do have that Stampede to try and retreat. The interesting thing I saw on FY, he's going straight X. There's a lot of things to steal on Aster's end that you'd love to grab if you've got the proper positioning. But straight X feels like a big commitment.
Yeah, usually it's Adderlance into X or Adderlance Blink into X. Maybe he thinks he's playing the IO this game.
Maybe.
No, but Axe first, so the cast range increases massively on that ult. And the cooldown reduction, of course. I mean, it can work out really well, it's just very expensive. Stampede committed here.
Stampede, and I believe this is the Blink Dagger for Yang. Yeah, it is. So they're trying to debut it. They'll look to catch up, but the Blink is short, and they don't catch anybody. Stampede and Blink, not enough to catch up to this Aster side, and that is the debut of the Blink Dagger, so they know it's on this Centaur ready to go. So the information gathered.
Yeah, Blink finished and revealed, Yule's revealed, and now the Orchid also finished. So in theory, that's the biggest power spike they'll get for a while. So if they want to fight, should be now.
Hawk spots Yang. That's the direction
they
go in. Shadow Fiend, Blink back. Now the host stomp, that does hit him the Abaddon, but they've got the Requiem as well as the Primal Roar. They've got the damage too. White Album, wicked sick. There's another one.
I was really surprised he chose to just stomp those Necronomicons there. There was an easy blink out. He definitely had it in time, but he chose to go on those Necros.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, not sure what sparked his decision. His team wasn't there at all. And already 3k gold behind with a lineup that does not want to play from behind. When his Troll gets his BKB, SF gets his BKB, Dire side is going to have a lot of problems. Yeah.
And this could become a big issue. And it's already quite the issue with the 3k deficit. You know, they're not really even fighting with the Troll.
At all, yeah.
He's just been farming. Monet is trying to shore up some farm, shore up the BKB. Maelstrom BKB. I think if you're up this much, you could fight if you're Troll.
Definitely.
Now, obviously, they've given him the option where he could sit back and farm and go towards those next items. They've proven that they've got the power to fight without him for now. And I think with this lead, they can kind of continue to do so, right?
Definitely. Now, this SF is popping off. He's 7-0-1. 100% kill participation still. Another smoke attempt.
Stolen Requiem, Blink,
when
host on, borrowed time, popped immediately, trying to run, they'll commit the Exorcism. There's the Winter's Curse. And Requiem thrown from FY, that'll fear the Abaddon. Aladdin drops, steals the Aphotic Shield before. He's dead, so I like the Aphotic Shield pickup. It's one of the better ones to have for FY. Uses that Requiem, gets rid of it quickly, and now they'll go for the Tier 1 tower top. But while that is happening, your bottom tower is being traded.
Yeah, I feel like it's not really worth for Elephant, simply because the top tower means nothing and they lose their bot tower anyways. They popped Exorcism, Stampede for just a single Abaddon. They're not getting the best trades on the map right now, for sure.
Radiant's middle tower.
And they haven't gotten the best trades for the moment. Hood for this Centaur, who's behind XXS. So Yang behind XSS by about 1,000 gold.
Going straight into BKB on the Beastmaster.
Yeah, BKB's a plenty for the side of Aster.
Yep.
At least that's the play. And there's the BKB for the Troll. So he's finished his. SF's going for one. You've got Beastmaster looking for one as well.
SF already finished his as well. So there's a big power spike coming up now. They have no way to stop anything through BKB. I feel like Aster can easily force a fight around Roshan with these two BKBs.
Yeah.
And if Elephant doesn't commit, then the Troll is going to have an Aegis, which is going to be incredibly hard to fight into. And if they do commit, I feel with the two BKBs, they will just crush them. It really comes down to the DP though. DP can win these kind of fights. It's just right now, she is very fragile still. IO is itemizing into a BKB as well. Really not going for that Agram Scepter that we have seen everybody build.
Yeah.
And they do force the Roshan. Nice.
Going to go for it, and I don't know if Elephant are going to try and contest.
They
They're
can't.
nearby.
They've seen the two BKBs. They cannot fight this.
So just a free Rosh for Aster.
It's very problematic though. Like the troll is the hardest carry in this game, for sure. And now he has an Aegis. They can use this Aegis to pressure more of the map, which they probably will with the double BKB. But they can also just, you know, take it slow and farm up. Definitely gonna take the top tower. They're probably gonna try to rotate, take the mid tower. And Ogre's TPing to bloodlust the tower.
Try and help out, keep this up, but there are a lot of heroes here.
Machine gun. It's so fast, it's ridiculous how fast it attacks.
It's not going to matter though. They're here, they're ready to get the tower, and they'll commit. No contest from Elephant again.
Yeah. And stealing the shrine post or pre-minute 20. That means no experience for the Dire side, unless they manage to reclaim it, which doesn't seem very likely. It's going to be a huge experience swing.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, they're TPing
Red
out
Panda.
though. Oh, they're just giving it up? I'm so surprised by this.
The Hawk spots him.
They worked so hard for this, but a curse maybe?
Yeah.
Ah, just get it. I like it. I
Curse
like it.
for the outpost.
Yeah, not happening. Mr. Somnus.
Yep. Now the tome's on Eurus.
How much is that? 1800 XP going in the favor of Radiant.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a big swing, yeah.
Van Brace picked up by the troll. You can see the experience is relatively close.
Yeah. The bigger story is really the gold. 3 BKBs almost up. Itemizing into a basher on the troll. Just for that BKB of the DP that's going to come out inevitably, and the IO as well. I just feel this IO is not going to have much of an impact in fights at all. Usually what happens is why IO is so strong, you can just run around and deal damage passively with your orbs. But in this case, he actually has to stand and right click, which means he can get ward, he can get right click pretty easily. Winter's Curse, you know, there's so many things.
You gotta think that with that BKB soon to be finished for Eurus that he goes for an axe, but comes down to if you have enough time to even build that axe.
If he wants to build it, he has built Orchid, but they have not used it a single time. So far, it has just been a waste of money. Because the Agam Scepter is not only your fighting item, but it's also your farming item. You farm so much faster with it.
Middle tower is under attack.
We'll definitely see what he has planned. If he just wants to go for like a pure right-click IO, which I haven't seen before.
BKB picked up for the Death Prophet, but the Blink Dagger for White Album. Somnus.
Middle tower is under attack.
He's,
One roar away from death.
yeah, it's
No hell.
the fight's on him, but he has to be very careful. Blink. Post-op coming through on a Monet. They also use that double edge, but there's Monet turning this around immediately. They're going to Stampede, but can Yang get out? No, he can't. BKB was popped. Monet's getting low. Exorcism and Trance pulling him in, so they do pop the Aegis, but there's Blink with the Euls and the Requiem, but White Album falls to Eurus. XSS is in. They've used the Winter's Curse. It's going to lock up FY. Lanham ends up dead. Somnus gone. 2 years dead on the side of Elephant. He'll pop his own Requiem. That fears away Monet. FY trying to do as much as he can with this. The Splinter Blast hits. He's also got the Spirit Vessel on him, so he needs to retreat as he's got a sliver of health. That fight doesn't go all too bad for Elephant. They do lose the Death Prophet as well as the Centaur, though, for just the Shadow Fiend Abaddon.
Yep. If they had no Aegis there, it would have been very one-sided fight, but of course they do have the Aegis on the Troll. And we saw how much damage this Exorcism can deal. It killed the Troll. SF blinked on top of the DP, but he just died in like a second. Very clutch Requiem steal as well, otherwise the IO would have also died.
Yeah.
Well played by FY. But you can see there's a lot of fighting power in this Dire lineup. They just need to actually get the fight going on their terms, which they did in this case. And the Troll also, he was very premature with that BKB ult. Like he kind of just ran into 4 heroes by himself.
He really tunnel visioned on Yang, it seemed.
Yeah.
Just wanted that Centaur kill. And then, what, you've used Trance, you've used your BKB, and now you're in pretty far. They pulled him back. Like, they did the right thing. They backed off and tried to pull
IO here.
him out of position. BKB from Eurus, but the Primal Roar afterwards. He has Tether, but will never get a chance to use it. Now dead for 50 seconds. He's trying to build into that Ags, but there is no letting off the gas for Aster as they move into the Dire jungle and pick him up.
Axe finished on Rubik.
That could be a difference maker, because if he's got the Requiem, he then gets hit with Winter's Curse. If he's able to steal that right away, turn that around, and throw Winter's Curse in onto the team, like...
Lots of potentially good steals. Beastmaster axes are amazing with your own axe. Even troll axes can be amazing because it purges. What else? Of course, Winter Curse, Requiem. All of the Abba spells. If you ever steals an Abaddon ulti, it could be massive.
Radiant's top tower.
Spot Platinum, who will pop the borrowed time. And FY coming over.
Doesn't want anything? Oh, he steals Requiem. He steals Requiem. Okay. Makes sense.
That's Axe Requiem.
Axe Requiem, yeah.
Now he's got to get Blink Heals and be Shadow.
Yep, give it to him.
So going for staff though.
A lot of eyes on FY here. I think if this team is gonna win, it will have to come from a lot of clutch steals. They need some, they need to steal the Roar possibly to go through those BKBs because they have nothing that goes through BKBs other than DP. And yeah, as you said, he's going back into the Aghanims now. But if you want to go Aghanims, why didn't you just do it in the first place?
And then maybe you could have gone for Orchid now.
Yeah, because it helps you farm faster.
Yeah, and you haven't had really many opportunities that you've used your Orchid yet.
Yeah, I mean, the only time you fought after buying Orchid was against 3 BKBs.
Yeah.
So can't even make good use of that. I'll have to ask him myself. I'll be like, Eurus, what was that, bro? You should know better. Son.
Asking what the build-up was. Yeah. And almost she goes for Sauna. So I know I said it with no analytical work to back it up, but I did say this game might fall on FY.
It will, I think. Also, of course, on, there's this case where they would try to burst the DP, but he gets relocated out just in time, and then they have the fight advantage. There's lots of cute places that I can make with his Rubik that have Axe now, as well as his IO.
Radiant's bottom
Aether Lens, so Winter Wyvern doesn't need to be too close to the fight to throw that Winter's Curse. And they're going to look. Primal Roar on Somnus. He's committed down here with the TPs coming through. They've got the Yules. They also have a double damage on White Album. Goes to the Yules, trying to TP out the damage. Ooh, just with 200 health. TPs away. Look at the massive rotations that draws from Aster. Just getting away in time.
I did not quite see it, but Winter Wyvern did attack him, right?
I think so.
Because if he did, he's definitely in range for Curse. Probably thought maybe we don't need it, last second. But definitely that kill, 100% you Curse that.
It's a question of whether or not you want to stay conservative and hold on to things.
It's a pretty low cooldown though, like 90
They're
seconds.
invading the jungle. They're going to come through and look over at Red Panda, but the Yules is out once again. They've got the stun on Monet. They've tethered up onto Yang, but they get the kill on the Red Panda immediately with BKB being popped by White Album. Stealing Mistcoil.
Which is not the greatest.
Probably, of all the spells you can steal in this game, one of the worst. But I'm not saying it's a bad spell, just with everything available in the game, you want something else.
It's a pretty bad spell. Let's be honest. Like he has like 250 health. It's really not that good. You want to have the Protect Shield, or ultimately you want to have the borrowed time. With your own Aghanims, you can actually just save your whole team. Running into the borrowed time. And then a Roar.
Primal Roar. Look at the damage. They just ripped through Yang. He's trying to get away, but he ends up dead. Red Panda joins him. He'll be a second. And that is another one for White Album, who is on a killing spree. 10, 1, and 3. He is involved of 13 of the 14 now.
I feel like Elephant is... Like, they always look so surprised, this is happening. The enemy has Hog, and you're farming all by yourself repeatedly. You gotta be more careful around the map. Like, I feel like they just keep getting picked off. Like, Raw off cooldown, they just use it every time.
Yeah, it's happened bottom, it happened there in the jungle. It keeps happening as you extend further and further away. Let's see if it's...
Stole the access?
If it's something that ends up biting them. It's only 14-8. It's a 6K lead. Like, there's definitely opportunity here for Elephant to come back. But if you continue to let yourself go out further and further from the base, and then... TP, Primal Roar immediately comes through.
Yeah, I mean, there's no talking around it. Aster's late game is definitely better. With the Troll, the SF, their scalability is much better than Elephant's. Of course, they still have like 20, 25 minutes until they reach that point. But that's not something you can play for when you team Elephant. You have the IO with Axe now completed. You have the DP. You want to be the aggressor. You want to start to make things happen. Shiva's Guard now also completed on the DP. I think it's go time now. They're being too conservative.
It almost feels like it has to be, right?
Yeah, they need to get out on the map and start doing like at least something. You know, get the lanes out, start pressuring, make them feel something.
This timing feels like whoever wins this fight gets Roshan. If it's Aster, could win them the game. They'll find Red Panda. Look how quickly he dies. It's already a 4v5. It is in a buyback. They use the Primal War. That's going to come through under the Death Prophet. Pop the Exorcism immediately. They've got the real kick going back further away. Yang leading. Winter's Curse locks on everybody. This is a problem. Requiem coming in. They've still got the fear on the F4. They get the kill on the Yang as well as Eurus. They've taken out the Wisp as well as this Centaur. And they're looking towards another. Somnus is dead. Triple kill from Monet. No answer for Elephant. And that's what you were hoping for when you've got the Aether Lens on Borax. This Winter Wyvern from a distance can get the Winter's Curse. And when you're funneled into stairs like that, it's almost inevitable that that is coming your way.
Yeah, one of the best natural IO counters displayed right there. Why? Super well done, and honestly, there's not much Elephant can do to get back to this game. The draft is not designed to play from behind. Now Exorcism is on cooldown, even when DP is alive. It looks like a clean Mega creeps. Probably get Megas, go back to Roche. If Elephant doesn't GG out by then, and then just group back up. Go for the throne.
They don't have Exorcism.
Yeah.
They don't have Death Prophet for 30 seconds anyway. 20 seconds until Eurus is back up. AC picked up by Shadowfina, and the advantage continues to grow for Aster, and they can go and get themselves Roche. It doesn't need to stop here, and this is very, very shocking if you're a fan of Elephant, expecting this team to come in roaring, and now you've experienced a series where they've lost in a game like this. So, you know, it's interesting to see how they'll recover, because this game's still not over. They can come back, but it's going to be it's a 90-degree climb, straight up.
It will depend on Aster making some pretty massive mistakes.
Yeah.
Because they've played it very conservatively even. I think they could have gone for Megas and then into Roche, but they decided to just back off, go into Roche first, which is, of course, it's an okay decision. But again, I feel like they could have forced it a little bit more, you know? Like in the last series, we saw them against LGD, where they had this massive lead. They almost gave it away by being too conservative, and I feel like it's kind of like a repeating story with this team. Aster they play very well, but at times they're just too passive.
Lanham again on the run, borrowed time gets popped, but that's all they can get. I think maybe Aster also have a little bit of fear. Like, we led a 70, you know, there was 70k gold lead shifts yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, when that LGD series happened, going back and forth, and maybe you remember that. You're just like, all right, well, what if we let this go?
Yeah, but a guy like Lanham, you know, like, I'm sure he has been in the...
BKBs, and now the Primal Roar is going to come through on a Eurus. They've got the silence out. That's onto the side of Aster, and now they already get the kill onto Lanham. They've traded for Yang, so it's a 5 for 3 so far. Yule's up into the air. Telekinesis coming through onto Monet, trying to chase, get the kill into Somnus, but he's got the Spirit Siphon as well as the Exorcism going. They get the Aegis out of his hands. Meanwhile, on the other side of the fight, XSS, he's getting a little bit low, needs to back away. They have the silence hitting onto this troll once again. The chase is on, but it's not going to be fast enough for them. They lead forward for a second. They get the Aegis out of their hands, but that's all they get. And again, Exorcism comes from that. And they've also used that Stampede. Like, this is just an Aegis and a 5. I don't know if that's going to feel amazing for Elephant, but it does maybe slow down Aster a bit.
Yeah, if I'm Aster now, I want to make the call to immediately just go top. No Exorcism. Exorcism is the only threat they have, really. It's going to be down for 2 minutes. You know that. And I think we just force the issue now. You go for the Mega Creeps, probably smoke up. Because your cooldowns are all back up. It's go time.
Going, or at least trying to go shard on Abaddon.
And smoke up probably. Yep, here it goes.
Curse of
Very
Furnace.
good.
Upgrade with that shard. There's the smoke, XXS, Lanham, and Monet. Smoke up.
Looking for a quick
Push
pickoff here.
Double Edge was just used, so might not have that retaliation from Yang. At those cooldowns, there's the BKB as well as the Primal Roar. That's going to come through into Eurus. Followed up with the Abyss Blade. They've got the Spirit Pistol on to Eurus. They get the kill onto this Wisp, and now they'll just try to run. They buy back immediately. Yang taking so much damage, forced to use that Stampede. They've disarmed the Troll, and now they'll try to chase as they leave the base, but it's not looking good for Elephant, as they've already had to buy back on this Wisp. Aster disengaged pretty well. BKB, but White Album survives. He TPs out. The Winter's Curse stops them in their tracks. They enter, they get a kill, they force the buyback, and they leave without casualty.
Yep. next time either IO or DP dies, it's lights out for Team Elephant. It's a very good way of creating yourself a winning condition, you know? Good smoke. And they just jump right away. No hesitation. I like it. Now 20k gold up, or 18k gold rather. And yeah, as we said, Radiant draft in late game is very scary. There's a lot of burst damage coming out.
Abyssal
from SF as well as Troll.
So many things to just go through the BKBs. It's Eurus pops the BKB, but Primal Roar, Abyssal Blade, lock him down, kill him off. There's nothing he can do.
Skadi as well, reducing the healing of the DP as well as the IO. Good itemization coming out. And Somnus is just here by himself.
Yeah, again, another case of being out too far. Yule's up into the air. The BKB as well as the Battle Trance is popped by Monet. Shiva's on the run. Pops the Exorcism. Not sure he's going to survive. Now that XSS is here, the blink in front. They've got the help with the tether. Somnus hit with the Primal Roar. There's the kill. Gone for 85 seconds. Exorcism was also expended. Yang's dead over on the side, trying to get a kill on a White Album. The stun is thrown onto XSS. They'll almost take out Eurus, who relocates out. Just surviving, barely. Oh, the Winter's Curse! Borax from a distance. Lanham killed by the Fable, thrown from FY. But Eurus, he is killed, and so is Red Panda. GG is called by Elephant. Aster still looking dominant, taking game 1 off of this Elephant lineup.
Radiant
Yeah. Aster, don't want to take anything away from them.
Yeah.
They played very well. Display good teamwork, you know, good ideas in the early game with that smoke coming level 1, giving them a little bit of a lead. But really, I'm baffled by how disconnected Elephant seems.
Yeah.
Why was the DP there all by himself, no backup at all? A troll basically just solo killed him. Like minute 35 into a game. That can't happen. Like they just seem very disconnected, not on the same page at all. They have a lot of thinking, a lot of work to do. It's not a skill problem in their team, you know. So I don't know if it's just chemistry or what, but it looks weird.
Yeah, they've looked good in the past, performing well in previous events like Dota Pit, where they had their moments to shine, but now Elephant, they look like they just formed the roster. Things are kind of wacky with them, and they're on the cusp of starting off 0-2, like you said, in this region. Might be a big problem, because that's going to be a loss to not LGD and Vici, but potentially Aster and IG, two teams that were at the beginning of this maybe fighting for the 4th spot. Now it's a talk of whether or not Elephant are going to be fighting for that 4th spot. It becomes very dangerous if Elephant do in fact lose this series. So we'll see what the analysts have to say to break down game 1, how they feel about game 2, and to analyze the upcoming draft. We throw it back to you guys over around the corner.
Thank you very much, B-Cop.